Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to CaSaundra Jolliff Live. For those of you who are watching for the first time, thank you for taking out the time to watch the show. And let me know in the comments, how did you hear about CaSaundra Jolliff Live? How did you hear about my show? Were you referred? Did you just happen to stumble? Was you guided? Do tell. Inquiring purposes want to know. Well, guys, look at the set. Can you tell where I'm at? Well, if you've been watching the show for a while, this set is home. I'm actually back in Illinois. I went ahead to those of you who know that, of course, many of you guys know that we've celebrated Mother's Day weekend on Sunday, and I called myself surprising my mother. She said she knew, but I don't think she really did. That's what she said. So I'm going to go with it. She said she knew I was coming home. So she said. But I'm good with that. But yes, I did pop in on my mom unannounced to surprise her for Mother's Day. And we've had a great time. In that, OMG, my bestie of besties, Penny actually showed up in town too to celebrate her mother as well. And we didn't know, I knew I was feeling it for a reason. Anyway, so we got a chance to hang out today, and I absolutely loved it and celebrated moms and my sister Porsche, and we did a Mother's Day brunch. So I had a great time. Now, for those of you who are watching this show, once again, for the first time, do me a super favor and let me know where you are coming from. I want to know if you're in the States, if you're in another country, and those of you who have been so faithful to watching this show, please do me a super favor, as well as my first time audience members. Do me a super favor and share the love. Make sure you share this broadcast. Okay, we're going to get right down into the nitty gritty of it all. And I'm going to talk today to my fellow entrepreneurs, okay, about setting boundaries. OMG, my goodness, have I found myself setting boundaries. Okay, this is going to sound bizarre, but I'm going to have to go off camera for 2.5 seconds and come right back on. So okay, never done that in the history of the show. We're always making history here on CaSaundra Jolliff Live, and that was one of them. So anywho, let me get right down into the subject. Entrepreneurs, set your boundaries, especially those of you like myself who are very heart-centered, very giving, very doing-ish. You got to set boundaries. And so for those of you who may not have that kind of bent necessarily to your personality and the way you're wired, well, y'all got something else going on. It makes it easier for you guys to say no. But I will say this, when you do say no, it does help to better your person, better your business relationships, better your business. And so we're going to get down into it. Just a few things that I want to share with you guys today around boundaries. All right, so here it is. First things first, which is FRIST. I totally spelled that wrong, but you guys know what I meant. Is set your boundaries. Set your boundaries. Why? Because it is so needed. When you don't have boundaries, you will be doing somebody else's thing before you know it. And there's nothing wrong with helping out another. However, you gotta make sure you do first things first, which is setting your boundaries, knowing what they are. And let's talk about the why. Know your why. Why are you setting the boundaries? Well, if you are like most of us entrepreneurs, you want to make an impact. You want to create service to your clients or to your customers. You may have some other personal goals behind your business besides profit. And there's nothing wrong with having a profitable business. And you should have a profitable business, absolutely generating their revenue. And you're doing those things that require that. But there also should be a deeper why to why you are in business and why you need to set those boundaries in place so that you can stay true to your mission. Why are you in business? Well, only you know what that is. So the reason why you do need to set boundaries is because of your why in business. It's just that simple. Well, hello there, Cedric Watts. Thank you for the great topic. Hey, yo, guys. Listen, catch us Sunday. This Sunday, Cedric Watts and I are going to I'll be on his show. He'll be on my show because that's the way we kind of roll, get down. We'll do our shows at the same time, live to our audiences. So that's what we got expected on Sunday. And we'll give you all the deets around that. But thank you for watching, Cedric. I appreciate that. Woohoo! Can't wait. Listen, when me and Cedric have, especially on his show, it gets a little nitty gritty. So make sure you watch or listen to that show come Sunday. We are doing that live, right, Cedric? We're doing that live? Are we pre-recording? I don't recall. All right. Do tell, inquiring purposes like mine and mind want to know. All right. So I think I mentioned just a moment before is to know your why. With that being said, you also have to say no because of your why. Saying no because of your why. For my people pleasers, for my people out there who love to be able to help everybody else. And I shouldn't say the word guilty of that, but I like to help people. But I've also had to learn the hard way to say no to the people that I want to help. I know, right? Sometimes you have to put yourself first, your business, your vision, and your agenda first so that you can help other people later. So it goes back to being able to say no because of your why. Why are you in business? Is it because it's part of your purpose? It's something you're passionate about? Is it a means to an ends? Are you taking over somebody else's a business from a generational standpoint? Or are you wanting to create legacy for generations after you? Do you want to make an impact in your community? Do you want to make an impact in the world? What is your why? And with that, you have to, once again, create those boundaries around your why, the ability to say no. So in developing your boundaries, it is going to start with mindset, because you're going to have to always go back to that when the tough gets going, right? You're going to have to always go back to that when things are hard and they aren't going according to the vision, according to the plan, and you have to turn around and reset and readjust and maneuver and make it happen again and get your energy, which we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So developing your boundaries, go back to your why, and then what is your boundaries? I'm gonna give you a good example of what happened to me today. Now, granted, I was 50 feet away or more. But my mom, who I love absolutely dearly, love taking care of her, love doing things for her. But my mom wanted to converse with me while I was preparing for the show. And not only did she want to converse, but she started asking me to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I was like trying to be understanding, trying to be patient, because, it's my mom. I haven't seen her since the war in 1912, which is not true, but, in a few months ago. And, it's Mother's Day, coming off of Mother's Day weekend, and I'm still in that mood to celebrate her, which I'm always like that anyway. But of course, I'm really in the juicy mood of celebrating her right now. So my mom is asking me to do this, to do that, and she clearly sees that her sister is preparing for the show, because I told her that I was preparing for the show. Hey, Mom, I'm preparing for the show right now. And she's like, oh, okay. Then I started preparing for the show. I'm doing something else, getting ready. And then she said something else, or she wanted me to do something else. And then I said, okay, in my head, I'm like, okay, just go ahead and do this real quick. I'm just getting done. Then it kept adding up. And then I had to break it down to it like a transformer. And I said, Mama, I'm preparing for the show. I need for you to respect. And I'm preparing for the show. I'm preparing for my show, or I'm going to be repairing the show. Okay. So I didn't put the extra attitude on it because, once again, I like to breathe on my own. My mom's from the old school. She will get your biscuits at 50 plus. I mean, she just does. Okay. So with all due respect to my mother, I shared that with her. And then, of course, she was like, oh, okay. And I remember thinking, how many times has that happened to me where I'm on course, I'm set for something, I'm doing something, and I stop to do something for somebody else. There's a quote that I'm going to put out. I posted an idea that came to me yesterday, and I wrote it down. And I'm going to share that with you guys on my social media handles. So make sure you check out CaSaundra Jolliff. It'll be on CaSaundra Jolliff Live. And I'm going to put out on my IG post with CaSaundra Jolliff there too as well. But here's the dealio. It really made me think when I put this out there, and it really is true. And it deals with around the area of vision. You have to stay true to your vision. If you don't stay true to your vision, you will, by default, you will be on somebody else's. Period. You will be on somebody else's vision. You'll be doing someone else's vision if you don't make your vision the priority. Not a priority, the priority. That's all I got to do is say about that. So developing your boundaries. Take out a moment and write down what your boundaries are. Do you need a certain time period that you got to have on your own to prep? Do you have to have a certain mindset? Well, how do you deal with interruptions? What do you do when things go wrong? What do you do when you personally screw it up to get it wrong? You have to develop your boundaries. And speaking of boundaries, this is, I have the same book twice, of course. I have the original, Setting Boundaries, When to Say Yes and When to Say No and Take Control of Your Life. Great book. This is about, authors were Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. And Amara, they have a new edition, of course. And I don't have that one with me because I have it in Texas at my other bookness of books. But there's also boundaries, teens, boundaries in relationship, boundaries in marriage. And Amara, I encourage you guys to get the book on boundaries. And not only get it, but use it. All right? And plus, I'm speaking from experience when you don't. So make sure you do that. Then here's the other deal, is that you have to be willing to accept the backlash of your no. In other words, when people get upset that you don't do what they ask, and they might be in a crunch themselves, right? It may be a tight situation where they are in a crunch, you're in a crunch, and you are choosing what's on your vision with a boundary to say no. And they may be in dire need of what they need to ask you to do. You got to accept the backlash. They may get an attitude. They may get offended. They may have some words. They may, they may talk some kind of way to you. And you've got to be able to be willing to deal with the backlash that comes from you saying no and saying yes to your boundaries that you set in, respecting your own boundaries. And when we don't do that, and I'm speaking from personal experience, I'm sure you can relate with your own, okay? You might be in that situation right now, and I'm pretty sure the viewers that are watching right now, a significant number of you are having that experience. I can't even talk today. I'm so tongue-tied. Whew. Okay, let me sip some of my wateriness. Thank you. So when you get the backlash, because it's going to come, it's inevitable, you are going to have to do a couple of things. Go back to your why, number one. Keep your why before you. And this is what I want to do. I want to challenge you all. I want to challenge you to for the next 30 days is keep your why in front of you. And listen, don't make it all super, if you got it detailed out, kudos. That's awesome. But if you don't have it detailed out, then write down what you can as it relates to your vision, as it relates to your business, as it relates to your family, whatever your vision is or your boundary that you're putting in place to make sure you bring to fruition what it is that you want to accomplish. How do you want to show up? How do you want to serve? How do you want to impact? What results you want to get? How measurable they can be. So with that being said, entrepreneurs, you gotta, my fellow peeps, you guys, we gotta set our boundaries. Like right now, I'm gonna have to set a boundaries because my mom is talking while I'm doing the show. She didn't forget I'm doing the show live. So after this, I gotta tell her, hey mom, between 7 and 7 time, I'm doing the show. Because right now she's having a great conversation. Of course, once again, I'll be 50 feet away, but at least I'll tell her, because I don't want a conversation inside the show, right? So when you get the backlash, don't take offense to it. Re-energize yourself, because you're going to need to re-energize yourself. Woo! My God, whatever you need to do to get yourself re-energized, reset your mindset, get yourself back in the game, get your energy on 10, get your focus back on 10, and plow down, set your head down and do the work while living life. Because I believe in being able to do both. Don't just be a workhorse and not living out your life, and don't just be just like kicking it, whatever that means for you, and not getting the job done in your business, right? That's not what you're in business for. You want to have work-life balance as much as possible, and re-energizing your life and setting boundaries around your why so that you can live out your yes by saying no when needed is the key to your success. It's one of the keys to your success. So I just wanted to take out some time today to just share that with you guys, that as an entrepreneur, you have to have boundaries. And I'm only speaking, that goes across to other parts of our life. It's not just only entrepreneurs. You may be a spouse, husband or wife that might be watching the show. You may be a minister. Oh my gosh, ministers, my gosh, you talking about boundary nation. You need to have some boundaries, doggone it. Because ministry is amazing. It's awesome. But it's one of those things, and I'm speaking from experience, that if you don't set boundaries, you'll be working. You'll be working more than you'll just have. You just do things out of balance. You really will. Speaking of boundaries, you'll be out of balance. And so whether that's a business, whether that's an organization, whether that's ministry, you have to have boundaries in your life, and don't feel bad about them when you put them in place. You have to respect them. And if you fall off the horse, then get your biscuits back on the horse and continue to live out your boundaries that you have in place. I hope that helped you guys today, because for me, it did. And so I can appreciate that. Oh, great, Cedric. I'm glad to hear that we're going to do the show live. Listen, guys, check us out on Sunday. We haven't set a time yet. I'm thinking in real life, it might be somewhere between, 2 and 4 o'clock Central Standard, or 12 or 2. We haven't talked about the details, but I'll put the deets on my social media and you guys will know. So make sure you check out that live episodes, because we're doing it at the same time with his show live, which is Let's Talk with Sir Sax, and of course, CaSaundra Jolliff live on this Sunday. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, do me a super fave. Make sure you share and put your comments put your words in the comments. The thing is that what I want to hear from you, what are you doing specifically? What kind of boundaries have you set in place for your business and for your personal life? What keeps you on balance? And honestly, what happens when you're off balance by not respecting the boundaries that you put in? All right, guys, I will see you all on another episode this coming Friday. I'm not sure where I'm going to do it on, what I'm going to do here on location here at the Housey, or if I'm going to be on another location between Illinois and the Lou. That means St. Louis, which I'm 2.5 seconds away from. Anywho, it's been real. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in a few. As always, have significant success on purpose, your purpose. All right, guys, take care.